The most crucial part about setting up your sluice is make sure it's level and has the proper slope. So about 1 inch to every foot. This V in the water, that's driving my gold down into that deep V black matting. And that's where my pickers and nuggets will sit. And then this minor moss and all this is collecting all my real flour gold and my fine gold. But my gold, see how I got that V right there? That's your most critical setup. If you don't have that V, you're not separating right. Okay, now this sluice here I'm using as a cleaning box so I can stick my hands in it, pick out the rocks, and I don't have to worry about it. I won't be putting my hands or picking the rocks out of this box. So I just use this box for my cleaning box, just a little extra way of make sure I get my gold that way and I don't lose it by sticking my hands in the other box. There went your gold. We're gonna dig in the hole behind you, start here. I think we got a good little area right here. Lots of sand, a lot of good looking dirt. It's not very wide, but I think we'll have a good area. And again, we want our levelness. The level of your box, the better it's gonna work. 1 inch per foot. So it looks like I'm getting good flow, good separation. All my material I don't want is shooting right through, cleaning my material. So all I should be left with is the black sand and the gold. A few garnets and maybe some gold ore. That's the way I set it up in a little creek like this. In a bigger creek, we'll waterfall it, we'll build a dam. And then we could have up to 6 sluices in that dam and we work them all at the same time. But since this creek is so narrow and small, I'm going to run it this way because I have more control that way. There's no easy part about finding gold. Alright, we're going to start out with a 1/2 inch screen down to 3/8 screen. Everything below a 3/8 will go into the bucket. We'll check our rocks as we classify them down. We're going to start right here. Now give them a little bath. And what we're doing now we're full of water. Take it, classify everything down. Didn't have a lot of small or larger rock. No gold nuggets in the first 2 scoops. This makes it a lot more manageable. You can see what kind of material you're working with, what kind of rocks you have. So if there's any nuggets at this size, you should be able to see them. Just carefully look through them. And I don't see any gold nuggets. They go back on the ground. So we start this process all over again. And the deeper we get into this, the better it's probably going to be. The crack in my shovel. I saved a man's life in the Centurion Tunnel one day. This shovel saved my life and the life of Mike. We called them fingers. 2-ton rock come off the ceiling. And I pulled Mike out of the way. So that's my lucky shovel. Finding some really deep red garnet in here. This really rich red garnet material. That's your rose quartz, and then that's how your garnets are formed, and that kind of material right there. So usually garnets and gold will always be together, along with your black sand. So now I'm going to dump this water. About a scoopful at a time. And like I say, I use this for my cleaning box, so it doesn't really matter that I go in here and play. I just want to get it separated. And then all my collection is going through that box. And you can see how it's separating. I got 2 rows of separation here and it's 2 rows of separation there. It's forcing it down the side, and everything in that V right there in the middle is getting forced right through there and then gets shot to the sides here. You see everything getting pushed to the sides right there? That's where my gold will collect. This goes a little faster in panning. As you can see, it does all your separating for you. Leaves you with your black sand and your garnets and your topaz diamonds and hopefully some gold. And you can see how it's my V right there and how it's just pushing all that material. That's why that V is important. So I just want to get the material out of here. I'll finish taking that one apart here in a minute. Now you can see all that sand down in there with my deep V. And that's the collection of the sand, my dark sands. And there is a gold flake right here. This minor moss, you really have to work it because it really does trap the stuff. And what I'll do is I try to get it all out of there, and then I'll dry it out in a separate bucket and then pick the other things out of it later. Now I'm cleaning my deep V carpet matting. And you see I'm using the deep V's, this kind of material that has all this deep V in it, so it really catches that flower gold. That's why I use it all the way through my box under that minor moss. It really works. So now I'm gonna rinse out the sluice. And that should do it. So now we'll take this down and we'll do our final work on this material that we took out of the sluice, pan that out, and see if we have any gold in there. Hopefully we had a successful test run. There's our black sand. That's how much material we pulled out of what we started with. So we started with what? 3/4 of a bucket, and now we have less than a quarter. So yeah, we're gonna clean out often from what I'm seeing. We got tons of black sand. So, because that was 6 shovelfuls, and I probably got to get at least 1 full one black sand. So that's 5 to 1. I'm thinking my odds are good. But we'll find out. We'll pan it out tonight and see what I got.